All right, good morning. Another episode of Rise Up here at Phoenix Sales. Let's talk about these two products and why you wanted to talk about them or why you thought they were important to have here today. Again, this garage lighter is one of my favorites. People love them. They do an amazing job in those areas where you need to push a lot of light. And then the X34, another one of my favorites. And I do need to confirm when we're talking about that where the X34 came from. I believe it's a Star Wars reference, which I'm a big Star Wars nerd, as everybody here at Phoenix knows and makes fun of me before. But talk to us about these two products from RAB.
Well, RAB has so many products, and we've been launching products feverishly to add to our product portfolio. And so when you said pick out two products, I was like, I'm not sure exactly that I can.
I know that was a loaded question, but I had to ask.
So to me, my original thing was occupancy sensors. Dude, I love occupancy sensors. I've been incorporating them into my house.
Sure.
There's so many different ways that you can incorporate occupancy sensors. So I thought that I would come here today and show or explain how I use occupancy sensors. But really, this guy right here is just a wonderful product. With this, I particularly don't like the one with the 3 wings on it. I like the one that has the 4 wings. And the reason the 4 wings actually has more light, it's got an 80-watt version. So what I use this for, and you could use this in a variety of different applications, I have a walkout attic. So in my walkout attic, I have, as my wife would say, a bunch of crap. I think it's a bunch of good stuff that's sitting there waiting to be used at the appropriate time. So when you enter my attic, it's actually kind of a smaller space with an A-frame. So as you walk into the space, I have stuff hung up on either side. I have products that are down on the ground, and then I have like a little shelving unit right in front that houses different product. So when you enter the space, we're talking about vertical tasks. I'm looking for the different objects inside of my attic to grab them. To do that, you don't want light to go down because I don't have that much stuff on the floor. Right. I have stuff hung up in shelving units. So as you enter my attic space, this wing is down. Pretend like we have 4. I have one wing that goes up to shine this light on the stuff that's there. I have the other wing for the stuff on the right, and then I have the back wing to illuminate the back wall. Okay. So I can, in my attic, I can then change the angle of the stuff based upon the product that I have inside of my space so that I can find the stuff that I'm looking for. I do use the same thing in my closet. I have this in my closet. I have the 4-wing version in my closet. I kind of have a weird closet that is L-shaped. It has sliding doors. It's not a walk-in closet. So with that, I have the wing that as you open up the doors, the wing that is facing out of the closet is down. Everything else in my closet is vertical.
Correct.
Right? To tug on your more commercial or industrial strings. This guy is so unbelievably small. If I take my phone and I put it up there, you're going to actually see that my phone is dwarfing the size of this fixture. Not in depth, but in height and width. And you can even see that it's even narrower than my phone. With the X34, you can take this and hide it places. So the smallest under eaves, next to a building. One of the problems with this, because it's so small, in some applications, you don't want it to be hidden because it might get damaged.
Sure.
So from a smallest floodlighting standpoint, this is a wonderful fixture to hide away. And for the wattage and the light output that you get out of this, you can't beat it. But if you're concerned about having an object stand out in the place, you might want to use the X17, which has a housing that's about 30 times the size of this one, with the same lumens, with the same wattage usage.
But you can't miss that thing.
But you can't miss it. You're not going to run it over with a lawnmower. You might be able to run this over with a lawnmower if you don't do it properly.
I think you might damage your lawnmower. That's a pretty beefy little fixture.
But you can hide this.
Sure.
And one of the great things about the X34, if you look at the X34 family, the X34 just doesn't have this small unit. It has 9 housing sizes, all the way up to like a 500 watt version. So you have this unified look from small to large. And with that big, huge lineup of products, when you get to the larger X34s, they actually have a button photocell inside. So you have a switch for that button photocell. Some people want a floodlight, and they expect to have the 7-pin receptacle with the blue, the blue photocell on the back. And some people like that look because it shows like, this product has a photocell on it. Well, the X34 is specifically designed so that it has a switch where you can either turn on and off that button photocell that's integrated right into the housing. It's an economical product that fits into our Contractor Plus family, but yet has a more elegant design in the way that it looks inside the space without saying, I have a photocell. The 22 series or the 17 series, you're going to have that 3-pin or 7-pin receptacle on the back with that photocell.
Now there is a version that's an RGBW version.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, there's four sizes. Not this one. This one isn't RGB. The one that's ever so slightly bigger has an RGB version of this. And then there are a couple of other larger sizes that are RGB to give you more punch if you need it, if you need to have that. So again, have an economical family that has all these housing sizes from small to big, elegant design with thought put into the parts and pieces, with 4 different versions that are RGB, give you the same look that you can use in multiple locations on the same property, have the same look of all your fixtures, but get a great variety of functionality out of those products.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the X34, especially like you said, that little guy right there. For the size, that thing's got a serious amount of punch. And I think that, again, that's a fixture that people need to know about.
It's got a good price point.
Yeah, very good price point. And it's just, again, it also takes a beating. It does take a beating, aside from getting run over by a lawnmower, which would not end well. I think the lawnmower would actually probably take the bigger beating.
Yeah,
I think that you end up having to replace a couple parts and pieces. But no, I really appreciate you taking the time to come in to talk about these 2 products, your 2 favorite products. I'm happy we got to learn a little bit more about you. For everybody out there, if you want to learn more from Ben Koyle, sign up for his Lunch and Learns. Mondays, we send the emails out. You can find the information on the RAB website. You can find the information on our website. He covers everything and anything that's to do with RAB. And if you're ever lucky enough to get a chance to go to the New York City, the Manhattan and Lighting Experience Center, the RAB Experience Center, Ben is one of the lead trainers. He's usually there. He does an outstanding job. I don't know that there's much you don't know about lighting based on your education and your experience. So, yeah, if you have any questions, try to stump him. But Ben, thanks for coming on in. I really enjoyed it. It's always good to have friends in here.
Yep.
Like I said, check Ben out on the RAB Lunch and Learns. Thanks so much. You guys take care.